Hey, good morning, and welcome to another episode of the Fueled Life podcast. Now, I don't know if you take an inventory, but when we think about a month, we think about how fast it goes by. Well, including today, you have just a little over a month of Wednesdays. So there's only 42 Wednesdays left in 2025, which means that December 31st falls on a Wednesday. Just so you know that you're planning in the middle of the week. And that means that Thursdays, there's actually one day less. So Thursday next year is going to be January 1st. So what will you do this Thursday that's different? What will make a different Thursday than all the other Thursdays before that can really catapult and be the catalyst for your year? Now, see, most times we don't even think about it that way. The alarm goes off and you do what you always did. You do what you did the day before. You don't, but you change. You decide that tomorrow is going to be different. So for my friends that are on the West Coast, I'm in the future. So I'm your future person telling you how you can make a better tomorrow already. So just consider that. So consider this. You don't grab your phone. You don't scroll through it. You don't flip through, check what's not changing. And maybe you whisper into your own ear as you think about that. You take that inventory and you go, this is not fueling me. So you get up and you do something different. Instead of just going through the motions, the shower, the coffee, the emails, blah, 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 you shift. You walk outside with your favorite mug. And for the first time, you feel the warmth of the mug on your hands. And maybe you see the sun rising. Maybe you hear the birds singing. It's not just noise in the background, but it's an invitation to notice. And you begin to wonder, when is the last time that you actually did that? When was the last time that you fueled yourself? And these aren't big wins. They're not major achievements, but that's not the intention. You see, the future goal that you want to have that makes you feel alive, it's just right now. It's right here. And all of a sudden, it hits you. And you've been filling up on things that have been draining you. I don't know how many people do this. And it's endless striving, the comparison game, the pressure to be someone else, somewhere else, some other time. And you've been running on fumes. But here in this moment, breathing in the morning air, feeling the sunshine on your face, hearing those birds singing, nothing massive has changed, but there's something different. So it begs the question, what's been filling you up? And what are you looking for to fuel you each day? Is it sustaining you or is it emptying you? And that's what we're going to talk about today. So welcome. This isn't a once in a while, but an everyday invitation. Welcome to the Fueled Life podcast. Charlie, my friend, how are you?
I'm well today. I am enjoying the bright sun that's outside. It's going to be like 66 in Connecticut, and a good excuse to sneak outside as much as I can. But actually, there's no sneaking. It's part of the plan. And Stanley, you said something important. It's like, if I rewind back in my time when I woke up to, I am doing the same things over and over, expecting different results.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I always said, okay, I'm going to do it differently, but I'm up against a proven system. By this time, hardwired doesn't mean I can't add new wiring. I didn't know that either, but it's just the way it was. So my routine turned into a habit where there's no thought. I'm getting up and I'm starting my day and I'm doing what I do and I'm getting what I get. Now, I might say, in this day, I'm going to start going to the gym, or this day I'm going to add. But what I didn't know is when I said yes or brought something new in, something had to get a no. And the thing that got a no might have been something that that was a habit, and it's going to fight back. And I'm not armed with the tools. I'm not armed with the knowledge or the experience of understanding my habitual way of operating each day, how I'm not connecting to source, to the earth, to breath, to meditation. I'm not doing anything. I am just going with the flow, doing the flow of what I thought was right. So, yeah, I mean, like you said, it's like just sit back, think about it. Well, what do I do in the morning? What time do I get up? What do I jump to? Where do I go? What do I do? Do I feel energized from it? Does it help me feel like I'm more prepared and excited about the day? Or do I not even notice that? I just kind of go until, you know what, hits the fan. Or this problem, this person, this traffic, and you start piling up all the stressors throughout the day, and you're like, nothing changes.
Yeah, you know, you were talking about the habituation of just running through that program. It is, we're so habituated to it, we're so used to doing it that way, and we miss the moment. And I'm going to say that there's a lot of people that are in that same boat because that's what we've been trained. We've been indoctrinated into going through robotic movements. And, you know, this is where people come to that realization that this isn't working. And, you know, the intent of our podcast is to go, hey, let's challenge the narrative. Let's look at things different. What is fueling our life? So I think that's amazing.
Mm. And I learned that by getting up at the last minute, rushing, eating cereal with milk, and whatever I had to do, and I wasn't eating for fuel. I
Right.
wasn't eating to feel good about myself. I was eating to stop a feeling of hunger. That was it. And how fast I could dump something and to remove that was the solution. And then it was rush around, blast out the door and get to the work. And then the day just, it was like a rudderless ship. Did
Mhm.
I have? Yeah, I had intention. I was running a business, certain things, but to work on a business or to work in a business is very similar to work on your life or just to live in your life. And it's very similar. And I woke up to the business change first. Like, oh, I need to be planning, looking ahead, thinking about the customers, the people I want to help, and build programs around that and work towards that. And then, with a coach and some things in my life, they said, what about you? The mask comes down in the plane. I got to put it on, make sure I'm breathing well, and then I can help you. That was not me. I was all about making everything around me, arranging it so my day went better. I thought outside of me, the arrangement outside of me determined my happiness, my success for the day. And I was way wrong. I realized because of a coach that said, what about you? What do you do in the morning? I'm like, it's none of your business. I'm getting coached here for business, not for what I do at home or personal.
Right.
And then he opened the door and he said, but that has everything to, and then I started to learn. And my
Yeah.
fuel went from tapping into something that was already a part of me. So it came to me through me.
So what do you do, Charlie, to fuel yourself? What is it that you do that just adds fuel to you to help you do those tasks that maybe you don't necessarily want to do? What are some things that fuel you up, man?
Hiring someone.
I'm with you. Yeah, I love it.
But well, Stanley, I just hear just the contrast. Maybe in the morning you'll watch the news, or you read the paper. Yeah, there's papers, whether it's on the internet or the paper run. Maybe you look at the feeds to see what blew up on X last night. Maybe you check out that you didn't get a like on that photo, or you only got 5 and you were hoping to get 25. Subconscious, I mean, you didn't know that until you saw I only got 5. So
Mhm.
you stuffing down that energy and you're starting to be in your head only and you're thinking about what sucks. And boy, the news is no good. The news isn't inspirational. The newspaper certainly isn't. Their job is to collect all the negative crap, because
Right.
if they didn't, no one would read it. No one would watch it. Um, so anyway, so I just take notice. When I work with people, I ask, what's your day start like? What time do you get out of bed? What do you do in the morning? Do you actually sit and, like you said, the noise? Do you get away from the noise and stay in a space that you can think about the 24 hours ahead? What are your plans for the day? What type of calls do I have? Who am I looking to serve? Is it in line with my values, my mission and vision of where I'm going and who I want to serve? And what am I saying yes to today that I need to now say no to something? And I mean, Stanley, this stuff allows you to remove that bondage, that stress, that anxiety, that blaming and complaining, and allows that energy, that fuel that's already a part of who we are. We were born with it, to start flowing more freely, and we could become more efficient and not so tired. We don't go for the energy drink, the Snickers bar, the ice cream, the extra 5 cups of coffee. We don't go for the Dunkin' Donuts muffin, and we don't go for that, because all of those do work, but they're not I don't know the word. They're not sustaining.
Sustainable.
They're
Yeah.
short buzzes.
Yeah. 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 So for me, one of the things that I do, and I wish I could make it a platform, but I'll be in the grocery store and I'm talking to people. So one of the things that really fires me up and fuels me, you and I, we really promote the Yucca app, and I really got to have Julie. I got to figure out a way to get Julie from Yucca to be part of our podcast, because I just get inspired by, knowing what's in the products that I'm eating. And one of the things that fuels me, that just inspires me, is when I'm able to share that information with somebody else and watch their eyes light up. And I don't do it for the accolade, or I don't do it for the notoriety. I do it because when there's people that are hungry for something more, that fuels me up. And, I start my day with a cold shower, and it honestly does fuel me up. And like I said, and I'll say this over and over, there's not many days when I'm super excited and I just go, I can't wait for the cold water. But once I'm doing it, it starts my day. And then I have my morning chai with my brain supplements in it, my mushroom in it. And I just savor that. And I just allow that, that energy. And I wanted to bring up one of the things that I do. I like to look at things that inspire me. And so I received this from one of my clients, and it says life coach. And it says, someone who solves problems you never knew existed in ways that will blow your mind. And then it says, see also ninja, legend, and bad. And you can fill in the last 3 letters. But that's what it says. And I could probably put it up there so that you can see it. All right. But those are the things that bring back joy. And it's a simple little thing, but it means a lot. And it's like right now we've got spring, and the way that the sun comes up in the morning, you can see it over the horizon, and you go outside and you see the dew, the dew rising, the moisture rising up. And there's like this little haze. And now I'm watching birds, and they're crapping all over the place, but it's kind of cool to watch them get active. And they're not a nuisance. They're an invitation to see something different. And those are the things that fuel me up and fill me up. And it makes what I do, what I think is mundane, a little bit lighter-hearted.
Yeah. And another clue is, where's your energy? What are you putting your energy into? Because where our attention goes, our energy flows.
Right.
So my attention was going towards blaming, complaining, the idiot at the gas pump, the slow person in the line, the customer that was making their decision way too slow. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. And you know, so where my attention, I was paying attention to outside of me, and it was what was it doing? I was becoming resentful, angry. I might not, I wasn't exploding or saying you're an idiot. I was doing it internal. What was that doing? That was robbing me. That was draining my tank. So I'm now operating on fumes. And when I'm operating on fumes, watch out.
Right.
I might just flip. I might go, shut up. You're stupid. You know, I might storm away. I might make a look to that lady that who knows, she could have just brought her dog to the vet and she's slow and depressed and she's at the thing buying, I don't know, but she's so slow that I want to wring her neck. And I don't know if she had her dog put down in the morning. All I
Right.
know is that when she turned to leave, I gave her a look like, I hope you have a miserable day because you just made mine miserable. Oh my gosh. So your cup said it. We help solve problems that we didn't know we had. See, I think the lady's the problem. It isn't, not even close. It's just activating what I haven't taken a look at within me.
Yeah. Yeah. And, the thing of it is, it's not the major things that can add fuel to our life, it's the simple things. And, you know, a lot of the grocery stores sell flowers, and an insignificant size amount of flowers for like $5. So one of the things that I'll do is that I will find somebody and I'll grab a small bouquet of flowers, and I find women that are walking out the door, and I'm not that I'm hitting on them, but women that elderly ladies, and I will hand them this bouquet. And sometimes they're with their husband. I'll meet them in the parking lot, and I'll say, "This is for you," and then I'll walk on, and that fills me up. That can fill me up for a week. And it's a small, insignificant thing that I can do that makes a major difference. And it is by the giving that we receive more than by receiving. But I want to say that when their face lights up, it is a lasting impression. It's just like with my granddaughters, when they do something and their face lights up, it is just like the world to me. There's nothing that can replace that. And those are what make me want to do what I do even more. And that continues to fuel me up. Now, have you ever found yourself doing something that takes a lot of your energy, that is a have to get done? And maybe, at one time it filled you at one point, and then you just go, this doesn't doing it. This isn't cutting it anymore. Anything like that?
Sure. Yeah, but I know now the have to is not part of the formula, but that's also what caused some of the energy drain because I believed I have to, which I don't. I choose to. And now I can say I'm blessed. I get to. I
Exactly.
get to go and service my backpack blower and get it ready. Actually, I snapped the throttle cable. Darn it. I forgot. Now I'm mad again. No, I'm only kidding. But I get to put a new throttle cable in and get it all working. And I get to maintain my equipment. Before it's like, gosh, I don't want,
Right.
but I used to like it. And then it became because I want good operating things, whether it's computers, whether it's camera gear, whether it's machines for out in the yard. I like my stuff to run at its optimal performance because it also requires fuel, energy, lubrication. It requires certain things for it to run well. And so do I. And if I'm focused on, I have to service this stupid thing today. And now the blower is my resentment. I resent this thing. And you know what? The people that made it are stupid too, because they should have made it a better case. You know what I mean? I go down this rabbit hole. And I don't do that anymore, but that was the old me. Now, yes, I might say to myself now, Stanley, oh, wait a minute. I was about to say I have to go work on this blower and I don't want to. And then I say, you know what? I'm blessed. I get to go improve the performance and nurture this blower so it keeps giving back to me.
Right. Right. Yeah. 6 years ago, I made a proclamation. I went to an event and I made a proclamation after that event. And I said that I'd owned my own construction company for, 30 plus years, 35 years. And I made the proclamation that I was no longer going to do what I was really, really good at. I was going to do what I was passionate about and what was going to serve me at a higher value. And that was going from owning a construction company to coaching and how to make a lasting, long-term investment in other people with other people so that the legacy that I was leaving was not just the color of a house or the landscape that I had done, because in 20 years, it's going to be replaced. But a life, when you change it, when you add value to a life, it is long lasting. It is eternally lasting. And that was, so for me, I still do a little bit of construction for some certain people. I will take on a little project, but it doesn't fuel me like it used to. Like I used to just live to have a high quality, high caliber construction business. And it just got to the point where it wasn't filling me up anymore. And so going into coaching, I'm making eternal investments with people. And that's what now fuels me to no end. And this is why I say I'd love to have a platform inside of a grocery store, because I talk to people all day long. And if you've ever talked with me, you know that I'm not shy. And so, that's what fuels me up though.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I also that I like how you said I when you asked me, I looked at it things I got to continue to do, but I changed my mindset and my approach and what the tool, the mechanism, the software, the system, whatever I'm working on, how it aids me in helping me move forward. But I also like that you said, I worked in the tennis business, stopped. I worked in the ski business, no more. I worked in the motorcycle business. Then I opened my own company selling adaptive technology for people who are visually impaired, blind, learning disabled. And I started going into work. And it was a have to. It was I'm not passionate about this anymore. Right. Something's not working. What's wrong with me? Nothing. It's time to change. The spirit, the universe, source is saying, I have this lane for you to go down now. And I've been trying to have you see it. And I want you to now step into it. Do what you got to do to get into it. Wrote a book, became a speaker, coaching, all those things. 15 years ago, absolutely not. 20 years ago, you could give me a lie detector and I'd say I'm never going to be a best-selling author. I will never be an international speaker, and I will never be a coach. That is not possible. And but when we realize that we're going and doing the same thing, and it's not, I don't feel thriving. It's survival. I'm making a paycheck. And then I got to take a look at that and, and accept the change that my creator is gently moving me in. And I'm still like Stanley, you were really good at all that construction stuff like that, because it was skill sets.
Right.
But there's a different when we come from our strengths, our deep-rooted strengths, something, because you and I both went to school and we had parents and we had a culture that tried to teach us how to do what we didn't do well better.
Right.
So in school, if I sucked at a subject, they told me to get extra help. Well, but if I was really good at something, they left it alone. Right. Now we know better. We know, hey, my number one, I just did a strengths finder assessment thingy. and I answered several questions, pages, and it took about an hour or so. And my number one strength is creativity.
Hmm.
Did I want it to be that? I had no idea. Didn't know what they were going to come up. I'm glad it wasn't procrastination.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, the thing when I'm talking to people and I'll go up to the counter and I'll ask people how they're doing. And they'll say, I'm just surviving. I'm just making it through the day. And I go, what would it take for you to have an outstanding day? Well, if I didn't have to be here, I said, well, how long do you have to be here? And do you have to be here tomorrow? And they'll say, no, I don't have to be here tomorrow. I said, well, what if you pre-planned your outstanding day today for tomorrow so that you didn't wake up tomorrow going, what am I going to do? And they get this kind of puzzled look on their face, and a lot of them kind of smile. And you know, it's not just surviving. Life is not designed to survive. It is designed to thrive. It is designed to accelerate in the things that draw you into your art. And every person has an art. And if you don't know what your art is, just like Charlie just said, you know, here's a coach who is certified in multiple different dimensions, and he's taking an assessment to discover even more about himself. And he invested in that. And it's know thyself. And then you can go, wow, these people didn't even know me, but the test is telling me based on the answers that I gave it. And you can't lie on these assessments. They're getting so good. Like you can't figure it out. They've got it honed into a science. And when we know ourselves even better, that's part of the fueled life.
Yeah. Well, first of all, if I'm taking a strengths finder or a character something or a habit finder or whatever, there's so many, it's amazing. But if I'm taking one of those and I'm fudging my answers because I want
Right.
to be somebody I'm not, or I want to trick the system to think I'm better than I. And now I'm concerned what a stupid algorithm thinks of me. You know, I definitely I read it and then I knew the answer. I didn't think about it. It came immediately. Like, you know, do you like solving problems and helping other people solve problems like me? You know, then it's neutral and not like me. You know, like no, I don't do that. Well, I mean, that one I did. Yeah, I love doing that. You know, and one of my probably the fifth one down was lifelong learner. Like it's
Right.
one of my strengths. I love learning. And if you asked all the way up until I surrendered to my survival, to my outside of me. If I could arrange well, I'll be happy. Alcohol, drugs, money. When I finally surrendered to that life, that was no longer, I worked a little bit, but then it stopped working. And I came back. Up until then, if I had done, I would not believe you if you told me I'm a learner or lifelong. I hate learning because I'm not smart enough. I failed in school. I failed everywhere I went on purpose because instead of being blind, Stanley, or to people to know me as legally blind because I thought that was such a curse, I'd rather you think I'm dumb.
Hmm.
I'm not that smart. And that was okay with me. I'd much rather be dumb than blind.
Okay, so we've been talking about this awareness, so and bringing this awareness, and I know you love formulas. You know, the example of that formula you use is the E plus R equals O.
Yeah.
And why don't you share what that is, and then I want to share a formula that you can use to take you into moments of inspiration. What is that E plus R equals O?
I want to tell a quick formula. Get an elastic band, put it around your wrist. And every time you want to blame, complain, have a negative thought, pull it out and then let go. Snap it into your wrist. And because Stanley and I both know very well disruption, somebody calling us out, somebody saying, because You said it on the mug. I don't see the problem. I think it's out here. And somebody says, go into the dang mirror and
Right.
take a look at the problem because our troubles of our own making. So E plus R equals O. Event plus response. How we respond to an event equals our outcomes. What is an outcome? How we feel, what emotions are flowing, the service we're doing for others. Are we selfish, self centered, or are we caring and giving and thinking of others? That's an outcome.
Right.
Okay. That's what we want. So if I don't like my outcome, I'm frustrated throughout the day. I feel angry. I'm getting resentful at times. I notice people are pissing me off. Then what can I do? Well, most of us blame the event. We blame the person. We
Right.
blame the experience we're having. We blame the gas pump line. We blame the event. And that's why I am feeling frustrated the way I am. But then you get to the R because in E, the event plus how I respond to that event completely transforms the outcomes in my life. So I started waking up to I have the ability to respond to something differently.
Right.
And over time, I got better at it. Like I said, older lady, slow in line, counting her change, pissing me off. But now I have a new response mechanism. How do I know what's going on in her personal life? Her husband could have died yesterday. She could have put her dog down this morning. And there is a chance she's just irritating. But is she? No. I have no judgment. She's being herself. She's living her life. I'm not in charge of it. I just need to take a breath and respond to the event in front of me. And my outcome was amazing. Matter of fact, when she turned, good morning. I hope you have a great day. And I do.
Exactly. Yeah. So our awareness plus our reflection plus an action brings moments of inspiration. So what I want to encourage people to do is just take an inventory. What's filling me up today, this moment? Because listen, the past is not a destination. You can't go there. And the future, it's the future. It doesn't exist. It's only right now. So what is filling you up right now? What could fill you up for the rest of the day? And what's been draining you? What are those things? Take an inventory. What is draining you? Maybe it's a conversation with somebody. Maybe it is the route that you take to get to a destination like a grocery store or a restaurant. Maybe take a different route. Maybe you can have a shift and adjust what your tomorrow is going to already envision that can fuel your life. What could those be? And you just take this little quick snapshot and go, what could I do today? What could I do tomorrow that could already begin the day a different way? Now, so for most of our listeners, it is already waking hours. It's already in the morning, and you're thinking, how could I start my day even a half an hour different than I did today or yesterday? And now you create a different outcome. So creating micro moments, micro moment could be a deep breath. It could be a walk in the sun. 5-minute walk could change the trajectory of everything. Maybe a meaningful conversation, a connection with somebody that maybe you haven't. You get that little voice in your ear that says, you need to call so and so, and you put it off and you put it off and you put it off, and then at the end of the day, you go, gosh, I really should have called. And instead of adding shoulda, coulda, woulda, just follow your energy, follow your flow. And maybe even something as simple as a 60-second reset. Just put your phone away, turn the TV off, turn everything off, just close your eyes and just breathe. So that is, those are some simple little things. And I hope that maybe that sparked some ideas into your own mind. What is one of those simple strategies that you could implement into your day? Charlie, any thoughts on that? What you would do or what you do to
Sorry.
It
I
kind
don't know if you guys
of
can hear my dog. He's not happy. There's a squirrel outside. Oh, here he is. Oh boy, it might get loud. So let me do this really quick. What I would do is first document, write down what time do I get up? What do I list the hours of the day, and then find out what it is that you do. Because I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to go, oh my gosh, I didn't even know I did these some of these things. I didn't even realize I took this. I went the same way. I went to this, and it's awesome. And it's not like take the hammer out and none of that. Because then you get to move into, okay, I could get up 15 minutes earlier. I could do that. I could do a little sitting quiet. I could reflect on, what could I have done better yesterday? I mean, it starts there.
That's it. That's it. I think that's a great way to bring this to a close for our listeners. Is just bring in the simple little things that you can add value to your life that fuel you up and create the life that you desire to have. You're the creator. Be the pilot on your plane instead of the passenger. And, even if you are the passenger, go sit in the first class seat because you're first class. So that's what I want to encourage our listeners. Make today amazing the way that you would want it, not the way that you wish that you could have made it. Start today. It's still early. And until we meet the next time, I want to wish all of our listeners not only an outstanding day, but to have a fueled life. And we're here to break down the myths, bring you the truth so that you can make better decisions for your own personal journey.